We're here for Heat Watch campaign, which is a campaign that's happening across the country. 19 cities are participating this summer and doing heat mapping. And we're using these sensors, these Kappa Heat Watch thermal sensors, to map the urban heat islands, the real feel of the heat across the county. Montgomery County is an incredibly unique place to do mapping like this because you have really urban areas like here in Silver Spring, right across the border from DC, all the way up the county, but you also have areas that are urban that border the ag reserve. So you can see the disparities in action between, downtown Germantown and just a few miles away in the ag reserve where there's plush green spaces and the way that the climate, the microclimate in Germantown is dangerously hotter.
This ability to get all of these sensors out in the community, I think, is going to be revolutionary. If there's a geek here who's into sensors, my next project, I know I've seen this, there are sensors for CO2, CO, benzene, lead, and what I want to find is let's figure out how we put together a pack of those sensors and put them out around the county. I guarantee you that the reports that we have about the quality of the air would be a lot different when you start seeing the quality of air on the ground around the county, and I think it's important that now that the technology is available, that we go into that space. None of this is science fiction.
When you think about dangerous weather, most people think tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, right? You see the damage. The number one killer? Say it out loud. Heat. It's heat. It's heat. It really is. So that's why these type of campaigns are incredibly important. So with climate change, we're seeing this increase in frequency of these heat events. We're seeing them more intense, and we're seeing them last longer.
As you might know, that the extreme heat inequities are not distributed evenly. We see huge environmental injustices in where heat is located. And in fact, a lot of extreme heat we can trace back to the roots of redlining and racist policies that have enabled the same communities that are burdened with other kinds of environmental injustices to also be burdened with more extreme heat. And so that is something that we are up against, and that is a really important element of why we're here and what we need to tackle.
I've been concerned about the heat crisis for a while. I used to work for the University of Maryland. I know one of the things we did when we built a new building was we put a white roof on it. Made a huge difference in terms of cooling. So I've been really interested in seeing how communities can mitigate the effects of heat. So it's fine.
And I have similar concerns. I went along as the navigator today, but yeah, I think that what's happening in terms of global climate change, and it's really interesting to see how it's measured, especially on a local level.